So I haven't done a sit down video in so long because this pregnancy has been making me feel really lousy and I just haven't felt myself, I haven't felt well enough, and I just haven't really been motivated to sit in front of a camera and talk. So today I thought I would do a video because I'm starting to feel a little better. I'm starting to get to that stage where I'm temporarily feeling okay, apart from like my hips, and then it's going to end up going back to feeling rubbish again towards the end because that's just how pregnancy goes. So talking of pregnancy, I'm going to do the pregnancy tag, and I've got my little Moomin book here full of questions which I'm going to answer. So question 1 is, how and when did you find out you were pregnant? So it was back in February. We'd taken a pregnancy test on the Tuesday and it had come back negative, and that was a clear blue one, and that was when I was due. So I just assumed I wasn't, and then on the Friday I said to Brad, if I haven't come on in the morning, you need to go and run to the shops and I'll hold my wee in. So that's what we did. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, Brad got up, ran to the shops, grabbed the cheapest test he could. I think it was like a £2.51 from like a little corner shop, and it came back as positive. And yeah, I'm going to stop because it's going to take me on to the next question. So the next one was, how did you feel? So that was a really quite difficult one because I did originally film, I was planning on filming our reaction to put in like a later vlog, but actually with them having the miscarriage before, there was that sort of excitement and happiness, but we were both quite nervous and we were quite fearful of, will this pregnancy stick, will we make it to the 12 weeks sort of thing. So we were a little bit anxious and didn't want to get our hopes up too much. So we actually were excited but weren't excited as such because we couldn't feel we could get excited just in case something went wrong again. Question 3 is, how old were you? I was 22 and then I turned 23 a month later. Question 4 is, how did you tell your partner? So I basically went for a wee and then took it in and was like, I think there might be 2 lines on this, but because it was such a crappy cheapy test we weren't too sure. So, but the line did come up quite dark considering it was such a cheap test, and then a couple of days later I went out and bought a clear blue one and took that, and then I tracked for 3 weeks with a clear blue one, just with the digital one, to make sure that my HCG levels were rising, which they were. Question 5 is, did you wait until 3 months to tell people? If so, why and why not? So we waited 3 months to tell like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. The sort of waited. Yes? Cheese. Don't touch it. Do you want to sit on my lap? Okay. It's a Moomin, so do you want to hold the book for me? We got a little distraction. He was watching Peppa Pig in our bedroom, but he's obviously not anymore. So yeah, as I was saying, we did wait until 3 months to do the whole social media official business. We told my mum quite quickly, and then I think everybody else we sort of told gradually, but we did wait quite a long time to tell some people just because we wanted to make sure that we'd had a scan and that baby was in the right place, and it sort of, we'd got past the original stage we had last time. So the next question is this your first baby? Which is obvious, it's not, it's my second baby, 3rd pregnancy. The next question is, do you want more? And yeah, I would love 3 children. I imagine my life with 3 children, but it's something that we will think about in the future, see how we get on with the 2, see how we get on financially, and just where our life is when we decide to think about it. But I do hope that this isn't my last pregnancy because I'd quite like to have 1 more pregnancy and 1 more child. What's been your biggest craving? I don't think I've had any like proper cravings as such. Like there was a time that I went through a stage where all I wanted to eat was melon. I like ice lollies, I like refreshing things, so I guess that sort of goes part and parcel with the melon thing as well, because I'm not a massive fan of water. I do drink water quite a lot, but I do enjoy having like an ice pole or an ice lolly or melon or some sort of fruit, because I do find that it makes me feel really hydrated. So I guess that's sort of the most craving I've had, is just something that's really refreshing, but then that could just be because of the weather as well. So next question is, what's the best part of being pregnant? So I would probably say obviously just being pregnant. I love having the bump. Like if I could have a bump forever I probably would. It would feel quite confident when I've just got the little bump. And I love when you feel the movement, so you know that they're in there and you can just see your belly doing all the crazy shapes. Like, I just love that side of being pregnant. I just think being pregnant is, I love it. If I could do it loads, I would. And that goes on to the next one, which is what's the worst part of being pregnant? I'd probably say the SPD. That's the only thing that I sort of moan about. Like, I don't enjoy having the really rubbish things like the heartburn, the sickness. I was so sick with this pregnancy. The tiredness, the aching and things like that, but in my head it's at least I'm pregnant and at least I'm experiencing this. So I don't like to moan much about that, but the SPD, that doesn't really affect growing a baby. That just hurts. It really, really hurts. Will you find out the gender? So we have already found out the gender. We're having a little girl, which is really exciting, especially because I didn't think that I would have girls. I always thought that I was going to have all these boys. I thought I was going to be like the proper, like, typical soccer mum with 3 boys and just having boisterous parties with boys. But actually, so to find out I was having a girl was really exciting because I just didn't assume, I just didn't think I'd ever have a girl. And that does mean that if we do have a third, it'd be nice not to find out the gender before we have the baby and have the surprise at the end, because we've had the boy and we've had the girl, so we can do the neutral thing next time. So yeah, it's sort of, that's why we found out the gender this time, like, so we could be prepared. So it was quite a shock to find out that we were having a girl. Do you have a name picked out, and what are the stories behind them? So obviously we've announced that we're going to call her Iris Rain, which is very much about having a blessing from above and about rainbows. So after having the miscarriage, it was quite lovely to think that our rainbow baby has such a lovely name. And I've always loved the name Iris, so when I found out that the meaning behind it was that she was the goddess of rainbows, it just seemed extremely perfect. And if she was a boy, she was going to be Arlo Ted, which is Arlo because we just love the name Arlo, and Ted because of Brad's granddad. The next question is, what's your birth plan? So with having my unicorn uterus, that makes me planning my birth really difficult, because I had this massive birth plan written out for Lucas, and I was always told from the beginning to be prepared for a C-section, and that's what I had. So I was originally booked in for a C-section at 39 weeks with Lucas, but my waters broke at 36 weeks and 4 days, so he was obviously born early, but he was born via C-section because he was breech. So we obviously have that worry of, will she turn this time with the short space in, like the small space in my uterus, or will she not turn and be born by C-section? So birth plan wise, I don't know. I'd love a water birth, but that's never going to happen because I'm always a high risk. But it would be nice just to have a natural birth. But if I can't, then, and I have to have C-sections, then at least I get to have a healthy baby come out, and it's about the safe delivery of my children and not having the birth that you want as such. So will you breastfeed? I am planning on it, yes. I'd love to just exclusively breastfeed for the first couple of months and then pump to make my life easier as well. As selfish as that sounds, but I don't cope very well without sleep, and it would be nice that as long as I know my child's getting breast milk, there's no problem with me pumping. But if breastfeeding doesn't work for us like it didn't with Lucas, because he was being topped up with formula anyway because he had low blood sugar levels when he was born, and he dropped a dramatic amount of weight, and I don't want to see her do the same thing. So if breastfeeding doesn't work out for us again and we have to go into formula, then that's something we will do. But I would love to have the bond of breastfeeding this time. We bought the snus pod with so I can try and breastfeed better, because I would fall asleep with Lucas on me when I was breastfeeding him to start off with as well, but he just wasn't getting enough, and I just hope this time that it works out for us. But if it doesn't, then I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because I just want a healthy child, and if formula gives me a healthy child with a healthy weight, that's what we'll do. Do you plan to work or be a stay-at-home mum? So I'm currently working now. I work 2 days a week, 16 hours. And I don't really know what our plans are completely for afterwards. My plan is to go back to work, but I don't know where life will be in a year's time, so I don't know whether Brad will have a different job, which means that I can stay at home with them both. I don't know whether I find an income from somewhere else. I don't know whether, I don't know where our life will be, so it's something that at the moment I don't really know. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mum, but financially it's not possible. So at the moment, yeah, I'm going back to work, but we'll just see where life takes us. And it won't be till next June anyway, so it's about a year away from now. We'll just see where we are at in life and financially. Will you make your own baby food? So probably yes and no. With Lucas, I made most of his baby food myself. There was one time that I think I spent like 6 hours in the kitchen blending, boiling, cooking, and obviously once it cooled, freezing. And that night our freezer broke, and I remember just feeling, it's that whole don't cry over spilt milk. It was like don't cry over melted food. But it was really quite a sad time for me because I'd spent so long, my hands were like blistering because I've been cutting up so much veg and fruit and pureeing it down. So we do have a Tommy Tippy pureer, so obviously it's a lot easier when we're cooking meals for 3 of us anyway. And obviously we make meals with Lucas with lots of veg, so we probably will try to make her food. But obviously there's going to be times that I don't mind grabbing a couple of Ella's Kitchen pouches because they're good. They're one of the better like ready-made foods for babies. So I don't mind buying, but I don't mind making either. So it just depends on the time. Obviously having a toddler running around your feet, probably not going to have 6 hours to spare cooking and making food. And I probably won't trust myself doing that again either after broken freezer. Do you have nursery ideas and themes? So I'm currently sat in their nursery it's their room as such now. And if you can see, there's quite a lot of Mickey Mouse things behind me, and up here we're basically doing a Mickey and Minnie theme room because it just really ties in really nicely together. I am planning on going to do a room tour. I think it's probably going to be next month or the month after, I'm not sure, but I've got that planned. So once that's planned and filmed, I will put it up, but I won't give too much away. I won't show anything else really at the moment, just because it'd be nice just to sort of film. But it's not, their room is okay, like the carpet's not a nice colour, it's a blue colour, it's sort of student carpet, but that's what you get when you rent a house. And I'm not putting up the carpets because we don't plan on being here for for more than a year and a half, so it's sort of a temporary room between the two, but it's a room for them both. But one day it will be nice that hopefully, so I want another baby as well, it'll be nice to be able to plan a nursery, because when we were having Lucas, we lived in a 1-bedroom flat, and now obviously we live in a 2-bedroom house, and that Lucas has the bigger room, so it's really easy to slot her stuff in. So we've got the bed here, and then the cot's over there. In the there's like a little bit where the chimney would be that comes out, and you can slot it in there, and it looks nice. But it will be nice for one day to be able to sort of get them both into their own room, and then one day plan a nursery as well. But no, I will keep you updated with the room tour, but that'll probably be next month or at very latest August. Just want to make sure that it looks really nice before we do it. So that's the end of the pregnancy tag. I'm really probably out of practice. I've probably spluttered and babbled, and I don't know, I just wanted to get down and film another video, especially something to do with my pregnancy, because I feel really like I'll regret it if I don't do any more videos or don't keep up with my videos, because I'm starting to feel better now. But I do have 12 videos planned, so I'm gonna for the next 12 weeks. So I'm really hoping that I can continue with that and get one up every week. But it's really difficult when you've got a toddler that wants to just keep running in front of a camera, and you're trying to persuade him with Peppa Pig next door, and your camera likes to stop filming every couple of minutes. So yeah, so keeping an eye out, there's going to be more videos. I'm going to be back and enjoying it, but I'm not going to be doing things like bump dates up here on my on film. I'm going to be keeping that to my blog, just because I think that's nice. I like to write things down opposed to talk to it, because I do find I just babble a lot. So keep an eye on my blog for that, for my bump dates and letters and lots of other things, and my Instagram. All the links for stuff like that are below. And yeah, just subscribe if you've not subscribed. I'm not usually this babbly, I just haven't filmed in a while. So yeah, thank you for watching, and here he comes again. Come here. Can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Say thank you for watching.
Bye.
Oh, where's your baby sister? Where's your baby sister? You're not putting my top up. I'll give you tickle, tickle, tickle. Is your baby sister in there? Yeah. Can you say thank you for what? Can you say thanks for watching? I don't want to pull my baby. I don't want to show the baby. Oh. Yeah, there's your baby. So anyway, thank you. Bye.
Bye.